So, anything interesting happened today? Did I miss anything? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the countdown. This is the Stay Tuned Sports Power Ranking Show where me and Jimbo go ahead and release our top 12 NFL teams as we see it and release it all over you. Just all over the internet, all over YouTube. Just spraying it around. I can probably find a better way to phrase that, but for now, that's what we're going with. But yes, this is our power ranking show. We do this every Tuesday after Monday Night Football. Clearly, we had the Chiefs beating the Saints last night. Where will the Chiefs rank in both mine and Jimbo's power rankings? I'm sure if you're looking at this, you're wondering to yourself, where's Jimbo? Jimbo is not here, and yes, Jimbo is not here. Jimbo is unfortunately feeling under the weather, so I will be flying solo here for the countdown as we release this. I do have Jimbo's top 12 though, and I also have Jimbo's Bootycheeks 5, and let's jump right into it. No more further ado. Let's get down into the Bootycheeks 5. Here we go. And for Jimbo's Bootycheeks 5, nothing's changed. He has the same 5 terrible teams that he had last week. He has the Titans, who had a bye, still at number 28 at 1-3. And the Dolphins, who won against the New England Patriots at 29, currently sitting at 2-3. The Patriots, who's lost said game to the rather anemic Dolphins, at 1-4. Again, they're at the 30th spot. The Panthers, for Jimbo, they remain at number 31. Again, with a record of 1-4, as they got kind of crushed in Chicago by Caleb Williams. And at number 32, a team that won on the week against they're kind of their punching bag, kind of their team that they always beat. The Indianapolis Colts down in Jacksonville when they were wearing their beautiful, beautiful throwbacks. Hey, Jacksonville, go back to those. Same thing with you, Denver. And while we're at it, Seattle. How about all three of you just go back to your throwbacks? All right? Just make those permanent again, please. Why you switched to them in the first place, I have no idea. It's been downhill ever since for you guys with the as far as the uniform looks. Why don't we just go back to those? It's fine. Looks good. Trust me. Yes. So that is Jimbo's Bootycheeks Five. Same as it was last week. Not really too much to explain there, at least from Jimbo's standpoint. My Bootycheeks Five, as we go ahead and take a look at this, we've got some movement here. We got some movement. The Panthers are back into the Bootycheeks Five. They were out for a couple weeks after their win in Vegas. Yeah, Vegas is a team that's this close to showing up in the Bootycheeks Five. They probably should be, but we'll give them another week, I suppose. We'll see how some of these other teams do. But the Panthers back in the Bootycheeks Five at 1-4. The Jaguars, who were in here, they're gone. They are out. They are out of the Bootycheeks Five, replaced by the Panthers. At number 29, Titans stay like before. They had a bye. So Will Levis couldn't go ahead and throw a goofy-ass pick or make some kind of stupid play. So they didn't get any better. They didn't get any worse. They stay right there, 29. At number 30, up 2 spots from dead last, the Dolphins. Still didn't play well. Still didn't look good. That game versus the Patriots was anemic. But a win is a win. So for that, they get to be a little less than the worst. So they're still bad. Very bad. But they get, you get to say that at least you're not in the basement. At number 31, this was a struggle because I really think that they could very easily be the worst team in the NFL, and it was a debate, and they might still be there, and I might talk myself into it again still. I don't know, but for now, the Browns are number 31 in the Bootycheeks Five, next to last at 1-4. No change, same as they were last week. And now, brand new, the very worst, the booty cheekiest of the booty cheeks, the New England Patriots, for losing that game to the Dolphins. You lost the game to a Dolphins team that is pretty terrible, and you lost to them at home when you had a lead and a pretty, considering how that game was going, it seemed like a pretty sizable lead going into the end of the game. But the Dolphins come back. They beat the Patriots at home. The Patriots, I'm sorry, that means you are my worst team in the NFL currently here after week 5. That's how I have it. That's how it looks for me. So that's the Bootycheeks 5 for us. That's the worst teams that we have going here so far. If you like what you're watching, please, thank you so much for watching us here on Station Sports and our Power Ranking Show, The Countdown, as we get ready to present our top 12 teams. If you like what you're watching, please like, share, subscribe. Helps us out immensely. Also, we have the links to our donation station, which is down in the description. The same for our merch store. Brand new merch in there, by the way. Brand new 8-bit helmets for the Seahawks, both current and throwback, and for the Green Bay Packers. Brand new in the merch store. Go check that out. Also, the QR code that you see on the screen right now, that'll take you there as well. Same thing for the donation station. Now, it's time for the main event. It's time for the top 12 teams, according to Jimbo here. This is going to be Jimbo's top 12 after week 5. For Jimbo, his number 12 team currently is the Atlanta Falcons after a big win, big game from Kirk Cousins on Thursday night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, NFC South foes. The Falcons go ahead. They take the 12th spot with a record of 3-2. They were not ranked at any point before for Jimbo. He has them up to his number 12. At number 11 for Jimbo, the Cowboys. He puts them up a spot after they pull off a last-second win over the Pittsburgh Steelers on a very late Sunday night, very early Monday morning. Cool stat from that game. Dak Prescott is the first quarterback in NFL history to throw 2 interceptions in the same game on 2 different days. I think that's a record that's going to stand the test of fucking time, if you ask me. At number 10 for Jimbo, Jimbo has the 49ers still down 5 spots after losing to the Arizona Cardinals. Surprised he still has them in the top 12. But how Jimbo's mind works, I don't know. I wish he was here to explain it. Maybe he'll do that tomorrow during the main show. We'll cover this again with Jimbo when he's able to defend himself and say, what the fuck are you thinking? Which I've said a lot when it comes to Jimbo's top 12 countdown. At number 9 for Jimbo, he's got the Bills at 3-2, down 3 spots after a very close loss against the Texans. And again, just bad clock management from the Bills. Josh Allen did not play well. It was not a great game for the Bills. So this is 2 games in a row the Bills have not looked good. They now have a Monday night game against the New York Jets and their new interim coach Ulbrich. I think that's his name. Is that his name? Ulbrich. So that's going to be a big. Can the Bills avoid a 3-game losing streak against a team that is clearly in turmoil, as the New York Metropolitans are? For number 8, Jimbo's got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers down 4 spots with that loss against the Falcons on Thursday night. Close loss, overtime loss. Both teams played very well. Clearly, Kirk Cousins, I think, played a little bit better, having 508 yards, 509 yards, whatever it was, of offense. It was, listen, it was just it was a shootout. There was no defense to be had, but just a fun game to watch, which is rare to say on a Thursday night. So the Bucs go down 4 from their loss to the Atlanta Falcons there on Thursday. Up at number 7 for Jimbo, he's finally put into his top 12 here, the Washington football team of Redskin Commanders, which is by the way, a new shirt that you can find in our merch store. Click the QR code, click the link down in the description. You can go find that as well. But the Washington football team of Redskin Commanders, he has them up at number 7, 4-1. They are running the NFC East right now, and they seem to be getting only better and better and better after every single week. So the Washington football team of Redskin Commanders for Jimbo up to his number 7 spot. Number 6, Jimbo's got the Texans. After their win against the Bills, close win. C.J. Stroud looked good. Again, the Texans struggled a little bit, but I think they looked better this week than they have in weeks past. They are still 4-1, and as Bill Parcells says, you are what your record says you are. Texans, he has them up 3 spots from last week at number 6. The Houston Texans there for Jimbo. At number 5, top 5 now for Jimbo, he's got the Packers, 3-2. They got themselves a win. Jordan Love looked a little goofy, especially when you look at that one pass that he had out of the end zone and trying to avoid a safety, instead gave up a pick 6. So, yeah. But the Packers do come away with a win. They are 3-2, up 3 spots in Jimbo's rankings. He has them at number 5. Number 4 for Jimbo. Jimbo's got the Ravens. Again, up 3 spots. The Baltimore Ravens with a close win against the Cincinnati Bengals. Went to overtime. Almost lost it in overtime with a Lamar Jackson fumble. The Bengals play calling on that after the turnover has been highly questionable and questioned a lot by Cincinnati fans and football fans alike. And then McPherson, usually a very sure-footed kicker. That is his name, right? It's McPherson? Is there a kicker? I want to make sure I get that right because I screw up players' names so many times. It is McPherson. Look, I remembered something. Yay! Woo! Go King! All right. My brain not completely dead yet. But yeah, McPherson missed the kick there. Then the Ravens were able to go down the field, get a field goal, win overtime. Jimbo has them up 3 spots up there to his number 4 team. Top 3 for Jimbo now. What has he got? He's got the Chiefs at 5-0. No change. Had them there at number 3 last week as well. Chiefs, of course, with probably the best game the Chiefs have played all year. Travis Kelce had a lot of looks. Played a good game. Stats, that was more of the vintage Travis Kelce kind of game that we were used to. Patrick Mahomes still looks a little, I don't know, rusty, I guess, or just not quite as crisp or in command. But they looked good. Juju Smith-Schuster had a big game. Kareem Hunt, big game from Kareem Hunt for the Chiefs. Xavier Worthy was really not a presence at all. But even so, the Chiefs were able to go ahead and win this game. And like I said, it looks like it was the best game they've played yet all year. Take that as you will, whether you think they didn't play that well and it still is, or if you think maybe this is a step in the right direction for the Chiefs. Jimbo has them as his number 3 team. For number 2, Jimbo's got the Detroit Lions. Again, no change. 3-1. They were a bye week, so don't go any higher, don't go any lower. They stay like before for Jimbo. The Detroit Lions, des Trois Lions. They are number 2. And Jimbo's number 1. It's going to be another no-changer. He's got the Minnesota Vikings after a close win against the Jets. They had built up I believe, a 17-0 lead. Then the Jets come back and what was this? Then I think the Jets went 17-3. They outscored the Minnesota Vikings 17-3 the rest of the game. The Vikings again have kind of they built up a lead, kind of collapsed a little bit. Did not play well after the first quarter. If I'm going to be honest with you, I'm watching that game on Sunday morning, but they do come away with the win. And Jimbo keeps them up at number 1, 5-0. The only 2 5-0 teams left in the NFL, the Vikings and the Chiefs, the only undefeated teams. Jimbo has them right there. So there is your Jimbo's countdown. Top 12, Vikings, Lions, Chiefs, Ravens, Packers, Texans. A football team of Redskin Commanders. He's got the Buccaneers then at 9, Bills, Niners, Cowboys, and making their way into the rankings for Jimbo, the Falcons at number 12 at 3-2. So that is Jimbo's rankings. Now it's time for mine. And hopefully mine make a little bit more logical sense, although I doubt it. And if you want to let me know what you think of so far Jimbo's picks or my picks, chat's open. Come in the chat. Say hi, say hello, say we're dumb, say we're stupid, say we're smart, say we got it right. I think we got it right. You can tell us all that right now. Chat is open. Come on and join us here. And us, I mean me. And Jimbo in spirit. Although he's not dead. So, not really spirit, but I guess just in... I don't know. Is there a way to say that without making it sound like somebody's dead? I don't know. I'm just trying to think about that now. It's like weird. Yeah. Anyway, now it's time for my top 12. And here we go. At number 12, I have the Denver Broncos. And I'm going to say this. Some people are going to be like, oh, the Broncos defense looks very good these last couple weeks. They've strung together 3 straight wins. That game against the Jets was not great by any stretch of the imagination, but a win is a win. And like I said, the win against the Raiders looked a hell of a lot better. Bo Nix seems to be getting a little bit more wind under his wings, if you will. Even snapping back and yelling at Sean Payton, kind of standing up for himself. You like to see that from the kid. Again, playing a lot better. That defense that the Denver Broncos have, led by Vance Joseph as the defensive coordinator, looks very good. Denver might be turning the corner here. Still, young quarterback, rookie quarterback, but it seems like they're on a bit of that upward trajectory. So the Broncos I have here at number 12, unranked at any point before in this season. Right now, they're number 12, 3-2, Denver Broncos. At number 11, I have the Buffalo Bills down. What do I got, 6 spots there? Wow. They did take a tumble. And honestly, rightfully so. The Bills have not played well in the last couple games that they've had. And that's a worrying sign. Josh Allen did not play well in Texas, in Houston on Sunday. Like he was simply not good. He was just not good. And there's no other way to say it. There's no way to candy coat it. There's no way to be like, oh, well, maybe. No, he's not playing well. The Bills aren't playing well. After coming out to that hot 3-0 start, they are a mess. And that's the nicest way to say it. I think the Bills are an absolute mess. And they are tumbling down. 2 straight losses. Close one to the Ravens. And again, another close one to the Texans. But neither one should have been close. If Josh Allen had played better, if the offense had played better, the Bills could have and should have won, or at least been competitive in the Ravens game, and definitely should have won against the Texans. But again, they didn't play well. Josh Allen didn't play well. So I have them down 6 spots. Do I the Bills 3-2? Number 11 here on my top 12. We're in the countdown. Number 10, the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins, it keeps showing people that he can be and is one of the NFL's best quarterbacks. No matter what you think about him, no matter how much the whole primetime Kirk Cousins comes up, he's now won 2 primetime games. Granted, both of them in the very last seconds, one of them in overtime. But that performance that he had on Thursday night, over 500 yards passing, leading the Falcons down the field, time and time again, and especially like again where the Buccaneers had a chance to put that game away, they failed to. The Falcons he was able to get them into field goal range, to get Younghoe Koo a chance to kick the game tying field goal, to get it into overtime. Again, just masterful stuff there from Kirk Cousins, and he might be the reason that they're here, and might be the only reason that they're here. But for now, I think the Falcons are very good. And maybe not Super Bowl contenders, clearly, maybe not NFC contenders, but fun team to watch. And I don't think after Thursday night, I don't think you can deny that. So number 10, I have the Atlanta Falcons. At number 9, no change, stays like before. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Close loss to Dallas. Again, I don't know how much the weather delay fed into that. Whether that kind of screwed up them and the Cowboys, because that was a very just funky game from both teams. Dak didn't play well, threw a couple picks. The Steelers defense played well, as always. I mean, I don't think you can ever say the defense doesn't play well when it comes to Pittsburgh, but Justin Fields didn't have a spectacular game. The offense didn't have a great game, and that usually is I feel like that's how it's going to be for most of the season when it comes to the Steelers. But at the end of the day, I don't think they did enough to drop. Like, I don't think they played too much differently than they have in any of the other games. Again, it took a touchdown in the last 20 seconds for the Cowboys to take a lead and to win the game. Close loss. I'm not going to punish the Steelers too much for that. In fact, I didn't really punish them at all. They don't rise any, clearly, because they lost, but they don't fall any. At number 9, I still have the Steelers at 3-2. Number 8, we got the Buccaneers. We got the Falcons' opponent from Monday night. Again, they look good. Got to shore up that defense. I think the same with the Falcons. Clearly, after that game, there needs to be a defensive meeting for both of those teams. Kind of huddle up, gather around everybody. Let's have a little discussion and see what's going on here, because neither one of those defense showed up. But Baker still looked good. Mike Evans looks good. Godwin looks good. They like the Buccaneers have the talent. They have good people there, good players. I still believe in them. They're down 2 spots from last week, but I still have them number 8 at 3-2. The Buccaneers. Number 7, we have the Green Bay Packers. They're up a spot after their win. Again, Jordan Love didn't look great, especially on that goofy ass pass. So, let me try to avoid a safety and give up 6. Better to give up 2 than to give up 6. Maybe Jordan Love has learned that. Maybe he's coming around to it. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. And like I said, in the NFL, you are what your record says you are. And we'll look something up here real quick. Who do they got coming up? They got the Cardinals coming up. I think that's going to be a real tough game for the Packers, considering how the Cardinals have now. They've won against San Francisco, again, in a very close game there in Santa Clara with a very injured team. And they also took care of the Rams, who the Packers did beat 24-19. A little closer than I think anybody would have liked it to be if you're a Packers fan. But a win is a win. That's why they're up a spot, 3-2. They're trying to keep pace there in the NFC North, which is you got the Vikings, you got the Lions. Now the Bears are 3-2. They're not on this list yet, but if they continue to improve and play the way that they have been these last couple of weeks, don't be surprised if you see Bear down, Chicago Bears, Bears end up in this list at some point during the season. Number 6, got the Houston Texans. They're up 4 spots after their win over the Bills. Again, close win. The Texans seem to be masters of this. Again, I don't think we've seen the Texans that maybe people have wanted to see as maybe being a dominant team in the AFC or something that is like a clear-cut contender. That being said, I think the Texans are a team that can not play their best and still win, and I think that's a huge part of the NFL, especially these days, is can you win even if you're not playing your best, if you're not you're having an off game, but you're still able to win. The Texans, they this early part of the season, they really have not played particularly well, or maybe not up to what people's expectations for them was supposed to be. But the Texans are still 4-1. They run the AFC South, and they beat the Bills. So I have them up 4 spots at 4-1. They are at number 6, up to the top 5 now. And I have up 2 spots the Washington football team of Redskin Commanders, 4-1. Jaden Daniels, not only is he now a Rookie of the Year candidate, he is a legitimate MVP candidate for the NFL going into Week 6. Who saw that coming? Not I, said the Duck. Now, is this something where is he going to fall back down to earth? Is this going to be something where the defense finally, because again, the Commanders' defense does give me a little bit of hesitation and worry, but they seem to be improving every week. Oh, sorry for the yawn, everybody. Didn't mean to do that. A little tired. But they improve every week. Jaden Daniels is improving every week. His repertoire, his rapport with Terry McLaurin, always have a problem with that, is improving every single week. He is very impressive. And if he keeps this up and keeps his pace up, not only do you have the football team of Redskin Commanders possibly being, a playoff team and maybe even a division-winning team in the NFC East, considering how the rest of the division is looking. You have Jaden Daniels possibly being a MVP candidate as a rookie, which I don't think has happened in, what they say, 70 years. So, interesting to watch. We'll keep an eye on them up 2 spots. The Commanders at number 5. At number 4, the Ravens. No change. They stay like before. They got themselves a win, a close win, a very skin of the teeth win against the Cincinnati Bengals, which is what I was afraid of. I said if they went to Cincinnati and lost, it would just kind of reinforce that whole Ravens have a very inconsistent, very not, I can't quite trust them yet. And to be fair, I'm still not sure if I do trust them. Again, because they should have lost that game. If Cincinnati has a couple better play calls, especially in overtime, and if McPherson, who is usually a very sure-footed kicker, doesn't miss that kick, we're talking about the Ravens following up their huge, big win against the Bills with a loss to Cincinnati. Instead, they get a just barely, took to the very end of overtime to win against the Bengals, who are 1-4 and have not been the best. Joe Burrow had over 500 yards passing, I believe, as well. Oh, no, he had 5 touchdowns. Sorry. That was Cousins who had 500 yards. But Joe Burrow had 5 touchdown passes. If you're the Ravens defense, that's something I think that you need to address and worry about. Again, so the Ravens still playing rather inconsistently. I'm not sure how to really gauge that yet. So they stay right at number 4 at 3-2. No change for the Ravens. Number 4 on my power rankings. Number 3, the Detroit Lions. Again, they stay like before. Bye week, nothing really to say about that. They don't move up, they don't move down. Nobody really did a super impressive job of overtaking them. Like if the Ravens had gone in and really crushed Cincinnati, maybe the Ravens move up again to number 3. But as it stands now, Lions go into the bye week as number 3, and they come out of the bye week at number 3. Number 2, they stay like before. The 5-0 Minnesota Vikings, again having a bit of problems closing out a game, kind of like they did with the Packers last week. Got out to a 28-0 lead against the Packers, and then let the Packers outscore them 29-3 the rest of the game. Only won by 2 points. They had a 17-0 lead on the New York Jets in London, which you could watch right here, as I was up at 9:30 watching that game with everybody. And I just want to make sure that I have this right. And they got up to a big lead, 17-0 against the Jets, and then they seem to have just faded. And then, again, the Jets come back. They outscored them the rest of the game 17-3, or 17-6, sorry, because the Vikings ended up winning the game 23-17, in which the Jets still had a chance at the end of the game to come back and win. If the Jets' offense wasn't as anemic as it was, the Jets probably won that game. And again, we could talk all day here about if and buts and candy and nuts. We'd all have a Merry Christmas. But that's something these last couple of weeks the Vikings have started to worry me about, is their ability to close games. They still are starting out fast, hitting the ground running. But Sam Darnold had his first game where he really didn't look great. That Vikings defense had some issues, except for Van Ginkel running back that pick 6, getting kinky for Ginky. But for the Vikings, it's a win. They don't move down any, but they don't move up. Because at number 1, with maybe the best game they've had all year so far, Kansas City Chiefs. Again, this might have been the best game they played all year long. They have not been playing well, but on Monday night, they looked good. They took care of business. Patrick Mahomes still looks a little iffy. Like I don't know, maybe he's what he's facing doesn't look as crisp, doesn't look as sharp as he has in years past. The Chiefs are not the high-flying, high-octane offense that I think a lot of people would remember or would be used to, but they are winning, and they are 5-0. And to be the man, you got to beat the man, and nobody's beaten them yet. And if they're starting to hit their stride now, again, Travis Kelce had a big game for them on Monday night. Kareem Hunt had a very good game, very big game. Then Juju Smith-Schuster stepped up, of course, with Rashee Rice being down and out and kind of hurting for receivers there. But Juju Smith-Schuster did well. Even McCole Hardman contributed a couple of end arounds and a couple of reverses there to gain some yardage for them. Like everybody, the funny thing is Xavier Worthy actually was pretty much off the stat sheet. I think he might have had one touch on a end around, but that was about it. So again, Chiefs better. I think they definitely played better than they have all year long. And they stay at number one. That's where they've been all year, and they stay there because they haven't lost yet. So 5-0 for the Chiefs. So that is my top 12 here on the countdown. I have your Chiefs at number one, the Vikings at number two, the Lions, Ravens, football team of Redskin Commanders are at number 5, the Texans, the Packers, the Buccaneers, the Steelers stay right where they were at number 9. You got the Falcons joining in on the list at number 10. Then you got the Bills dropping 6 points to 11 and joining the list right now at number 12, one of my 12 best teams in the NFL as we sit here right now after week 5, going into week 6, the Denver Broncos. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the countdown. Thank you so very much. I know this was not as, it's usually better when it's Jimbo in here because he gets to explain his picks and we get to basically pick apart each other's power rankings, and that's usually fun. But of course, he's not feeling well, so send your best wishes to Jimbo. Tell him to get better. Stop being an old man. And again, we all hope that Jimbo feels better. And we'll be back here next week for next week's countdown. And he should, hopefully, if he is feeling better, we'll be back tomorrow for the flagship show, the main show. Stay tuned, sports. That'll be coming up about 3:30 Eastern time. Tomorrow. This was supposed to be out at 3:30, and it's a little later. It's coming out a little later, but it came out, so relax. I think it'll be fine. I want to thank you so much for watching us here at Stay Tuned Sports and joining us. If you like what you're watching, if you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps us out immensely. Please, if you feel like helping us out, giving us a little bit of a donation, we have a donation station link in the description below, as well as the QR code that you're looking at on your screen right there. That's from Buy Me a Coffee. Any amount helps. Doesn't matter what it is, how much it is. We appreciate it all here at Stay Tuned Sports. Thank you so very much for the people who have already donated. And we've had a few, so thank you guys so very much. Also, brand new merch in the merch store. A couple of 8-bit helmets. We have Seahawks current and throwback 8-bit helmets. We have Packers 8-bit helmets. We also have older ones that are the Giants and Eagles 8-bit helmets. We have also a new Washington football team of Redskin Commanders shirt in the merch store. So please go check that out. Link in the description and the QR code that you're looking at right there. Until tomorrow, when we come with you with the flagship show, my name has been King. This has been the countdown. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a great